Daf Yomi, Tractate 109b. Top of the page, the words of Sofer Masa. Okay, we were talking about something that Rava said with regard to teacher of children, a planter, ritual slaughter, a bloodletter, and a town scribe. Top of 109b, who drafts documents on behalf of the local residents. All of these are considered forewarned. Therefore, any loss incurred due to them is deducted from their wages, and they are fined without the need for prior warning. The principle of this matter is, with regard to any loss that is not recoverable, they are considered forewarned. The Gemara relates, there was a certain planter who said to the owner of a field, "Give me the value of my enhancement, because I wish to ascend to Eretz Yisrael." The owner came for a ruling before Rav Papa Bar Shmuel, who said to him, "Give the planter the value of his enhancement." Rav said to Rav Papa Bar Shmuel, "Did he alone enhance the field, while the land did not enhance it? He cannot be credited with all the improvement." Rav Papa Bar Shmuel said to Rava, "I am telling you that he is entitled to half the value of the enhancement." Rava said to him, "Until now the owner of the land would take half, and the planter would take half, while the planter would work the field. Now the owner also needs to give a portion to the sharecropper, so that the sharecropper will continue working the field." Rav Papa Bar Shmuel said to him, "I am telling you to give him 1/4 of the value of the enhancement, the half of the sum to which he is entitled." Rav Ashi thought to say that when he referred to 1/4, he meant 1/4 that is 1/6. In other words, 1/4 of the sum due to the owner, as the sum due to the owner is 2/3 of the entire field. This payment would therefore amount to 1/6 of the total, as Rav ben Yumi, son of Rav Nachumi, said, in a location where the planter takes half the fruit and the sharecropper takes 1/3. With regard to a planter who wants to leave, we give him his share of the value of the enhancement, and remove him in such a manner so that the homeowner should suffer no loss. Granted, you say that he meant 1/4, that is 1/6, it is well that the calculations are in order. But if you say he referred to an actual quarter, the homeowner suffers the loss of half of 1/6. This is because if the borrower had paid the planter initially, he would have given him only 1/2, whereas now he must give the planter 1/4 and the sharecropper 1/3. He thereby pays an extra 12th. Revacha, son of Yehoshua, said to Rashi, "Let the planter say to the owner, 'You give your portion to the sharecropper, and I will do what I wish with my portion. I perform my half with the work properly, so why should I suffer loss because you want to pay the sharecropper?'" Rav Ashi said to him, "When you reach the tractate of the slaughter of sacrificial animals," in other words, tractates in Zvachim, "come and ask this difficulty to me." In other words, your question is a good one, worthy of a difficult tractate full of complex reasoning, such as Zvachim. Okay. With regard to the matter itself, Rav ben Yumi, son of Rav Nachumi, said, in a location where the planter takes half the fruit and the sharecropper 1/3, with regard to a planter who wants to leave, we give him his share of the value of the enhancement and remove him in such a manner so that the homeowner should suffer no loss. Rav ben Yumi, son of Rav Nachumi, further said, with regard to an old vine in a vineyard, the planter itself receives half, although he did not plant the vine. Since he was placed in charge of the entire vineyard, he receives a portion of that which was taken there before. If a river flooded the vineyard, and the owner and the planter come to divide the trees that fell down, the planter receives 1/4. The Gemara relates, there was a certain man who mortgaged an orchard to another. In other words, the creditor, for 10 years, in order that the latter should use the profits gained from the orchard as payment for the debt, but the orchard aged 5 years and no longer produced quality fruit. Consequently, the one way to proceed was to cut down its trees and send them as a field. Abaye said this wood is considered as a produce of the orchard, and therefore the creditor is entitled to cut them down and sell them. Rava said the wood is classified as principal and is therefore viewed as a part of the orchard itself. Consequently, the creditor has no rights to the wood itself. But the other land is purchased with the profits from the outside, and the creditor consumes the produce of that land until the debt is repaid. The Gemara raises an objection against this from Brita that discusses the halachot of a mortgage. If the tree dried up or was chopped down, it is forbidden for both the creditor and the debtor to take it for themselves. How should they proceed? It is sold for wood, and the land should be purchased with the proceeds. And he, in other words, the creditor, consumes the produce of that land. The Gemara clarifies, what? Is it not referring to a dry tree that is similar to one that was chopped down? In that, just as the tree was chopped down at its proper time, so too the tree dried at its proper time, and yet the Tana teaches that land should be purchased with the money and the creditor consumes for produce. Apparently, the wood is considered part of the principal, not the profits. The support of Rava's opinion and presents a difficulty to Abaye. The Gemara rejects this argument. No, the chopped down tree mentioned in the Brita is similar to the dry one, just as that tree dried up before its time, so too this one was chopped down before its time. Since this did not occur naturally, the wood is classified as produce. Had the orchard dried up at the expected time, its trees would be considered as part of the land. The Gemara suggests, coming here, proof to Rava's opinion from a Mishnah in Ketubot 79b. If a woman, after a marriage, has old vines and olive trees, that which were bequeathed to her by means of inheritance,